All right, so welcome to part three of how to craft the school improvement plan. So we'd like to invite everyone to please watch our part one and part two in case you have missed it, because we are actually making this video for all those who will be taking up the principal's test for this year. So this is a form of our review and our help to those who will be taking up the test. Okay, so today we're going to try to get the following objectives for this lecture. So first of all is to determine the steps involved in the planning phase of the SIP development. So this step is the plan stage, which is the second stage for the CA process, which is the methodology used in enhanced school improvement plan. So um, again, we are inviting you to watch part one and part two. And then we are also inviting everyone to familiarize oneself the different tools to be accomplished in the planning phase. Okay, so what are the different tools you can use and what are the specific steps that you'll be using? And then manifest appreciation of the utilization of the SIP in improving learning outcomes. So we have already discussed the following. In part one, we have discussed preparatory activities, so you can watch that. Then we also talk about phase one, which is the assess, and then we also talk about phase two, which is now this part three, right? So what is the first stage under planning? So we are now in step four because we have covered the steps before. So this is a review general objectives and targets. So this is actually the part here that you will be filling up, and then we'll also be covering the root causes. Okay. So what will be your output if you are done with this? Then you will have the root cause column, the planning worksheet filled up already. And then for the school planning team, at this stage, you need to revisit the objectives in the planning worksheet, taking note of the root cause that was reviewed by the project team. Right. So step five is to formulate solutions. So what are you going to do at this stage is that you're going to brainstorm solutions based on the root cause. So there are several solutions that can be formulated for a single root cause. So in this case, you'll be brainstorming on the possible solutions, but it's just not any solutions at all. It is a solution that is based from the root cause. So that's why you need to do some root cause analysis, which we'll be teaching you later on, and it could be that the one problem can be solved using multiple projects. So there could be several solutions. You can actually generate them based on the different root causes, but because there could be problems that is rooted among different causes. So one project can actually focus on one root cause and the other one could be another. Okay, so considerations in formulating solutions. First is it should address the root cause. It should not be any solution that just came out from the blue. It should be something that is based on the root cause. It should be within the control of the school. Of course, you cannot solve a problem which is not under your control. So make sure that the root cause that you have identified is under, or the solution you have identified is under your control. And it should be economical, meaning it should not actually be very expensive. At the same time, it should be something that can really help you. It should be sustainable. It's just not a one time shot. It should be something that can be implemented and can be sustained, and should have the support of the concerned stakeholders and process owners. So you need to involve them in the process so that you have their support. At the same time, they should be able to see how this possible solution can actually impact and solve the problem that you have identified in the previous steps. Okay, so output check could be list of possible solutions. So this is step six. So at this stage now, you are now ready to develop your project design. So as I've mentioned a while ago, project design, you can have multiple projects for one problem that you have, depending on the results of your root cause analysis. So one project design should contain only one solution. So in case uh, you have multiple projects, then that will contain the solution that you wanted to get. Okay, so this is now the project work plan and the budget matrix. Okay, so this is the format. You have the project title, you have the problem statement, then project objective statement, and then you also have the root cause that you are addressing using this project that you have created. And then you have the project work plan and budget matrix. So you see there the activity, the output, whatever output that you will be coming up, and then the date of the implementation, the person responsible, the budget, and the budget source. So development of project design. So you can have your problem statement. So the selected area of focus phrased as a problem. Okay, so an example of a problem statement is during the first quarter, 10 out of 30 periodic test papers in grade 7 mathematics of had items that were erroneously checked. So that is your problem statement. So project objective statement, what do you want to achieve and by how much? So to reduce the incidence of erroneously checked periodic test papers of grade 7 mathematics by 100%. Notice that it's very specific and it's very doable because it has a specific metrics that it can use to identify if you have achieved what you wanted to achieve, right? So, the activities you need to do to implement your solution. So, that is the definition. An example is that meet with teachers to discuss the new process of checking periodic test papers. I would just like to tell you that the activity should be logically and chronologically arranged so that when we look at your project matrix, we can see that there is a logical flow as to the activities that you'll be performing, making it more doable for those for your people. At the same time, when we look at it, we'll be able to see concretely what you're going to accomplish, and then the concrete, tangible products that results from the undertaking and activity. So this is now your output. So the output is, for example, is a teacher attendance during the discussion of the new process on checking the periodic test paper. So this is a very specific output, a tangible product that you can see after the activity. Okay, and then you also have develop the project design, and still under that, these are the PS that span for more than a year, set incremental targets each year. So first year, to increase the number of independent readers by 5%, to increase the number of independent readers by 15%, and then to increase the number of independent readers by 25%. So project varies on timeliness set for each PIA or priority improvement area. And projects should be manageable. Major projects that would need a long time to implement should be subdivided into smaller, more manageable projects. Okay, each project will have to be monitored at least twice by the SPT. So remember that it should be monitored twice. Okay, so during the middle and during the end. Okay, so no longer projects should be monitored more than twice. So you can say, for example, you have a very long project, so try to monitor it more than twice. So set the dates when the SPT will monitor the project. Include these dates in the project work plan and project matrix. So the accomplished project work plan and the budget matrix submitted to the school planning team. All right. And the school head, the teachers, the staff's contributions in the planning and implementing of the SIP and AIP should be included in the results-based performance management system. So that is why we are doing this for the sake of accountability. So if you're part of the project team who are working with the SIP and the AIP, then that should be part of the RPMS rating that you'll be having. These can be written as performance objectives under the corresponding key result areas. So output check. This time you can write the SIP. This is now the format. Okay, so as you can see there, that is now the general format. Right? All SPT members shall sign the SIP for onward submission of the school's division office. You only need to submit this at the beginning of the 3-year SIP cycle. But remember, the AIP should be submitted every year. So this is now the format, introduction. You can talk about the DepEd vision mission, but you should not write there simply the vision mission, but you're going to share the output and insights of your of the vision mission sharing activity that you had, right? So under school situation, this is now your discussion here. Assessment of the current status of children, especially the school age children in the community, as well as the causes of shortfalls and inequities in the children's outcomes. And then assessment of status and trends in the realization of the school's contributions to the achievement of the division goals and objectives. You can also have an assessment of school systems and processes that facilitate and hinder the attainment of school objectives and targets. Kung may kwento, dapat mayroong kwenta. At kung may kwenta, dapat mayroong kwento. Okay, so as you can see there, this actually tells us about your current situation. No? So how are you going to um, achieve all this, and what is the school situation as of the moment? So you're giving our stakeholders an idea. Okay, so we have here part 3, 8 to 3, and 4 as in governance. So as you can see here, we have school improvement planning worksheet. You can place it there. What is your priority improvement area that you have identified? What is now your objective? And then what are the root causes you have identified? And if possible, for every root cause, you try to create a problem, no, a project that you can solve, that you can do in order for you to solve the root cause of the priority improvement area. Okay, so PS include issues within the school and community affecting the school and the learners, which need to be addressed and brought to the attention of the stakeholders. So the monitoring and evaluation tells us of how you're going to ensure that it's sustainable, and you can do what you call the CI process, wherein you can continuously improve the steps and the systems that you have implemented. So how do document issues and lessons learned? You try to think about that. What are the indicators to watch out for? So this is what is the content of your monitoring and evaluation part. So your output should be that the SIP should contain the signatures of the SPT members. And then you prepare the AIP this time. An AIP is a year-by-year operational plan of the SIP. So you have 3, that is for 3 years. That's why you need to create 3 AIPs. So attach a copy of the project design to the AIP to guide you when you implement year 2 and year 3 of the AIPs. Okay? So while the SIP is aligned to the division goals and objectives, the AIP is based on the general objectives and targets in the SIP. It is recommended that the project team was assigned to do the root cause analysis in the PIA should be the one to prepare the AIP for the sake of continuity. The project team may add or change some of their team members if necessary. So you may adjust. So this is the format of the annual implementation plan. Okay, so as you can see there, you have the school improvement project title, whatever it is, then project objective, and then output of the year. So it should be output for the year only. Then activities. So it can be you can break it down based on the specific steps that you'll be following. The persons responsible, the venue, and then the budget per activity, and the budget source. So what is good SIP and AP? It should contain the following. It should be complete. It should be clear and concise. It should be consistent. It should be evidence based, and it should be relevant. Output check is that you have accomplished the SIP. Right. So that concludes our part 3, which is the planning stage under the enhanced school improvement plan. So for more learnings, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you, and please stay tuned for part 4. You can check the playlist for part 4. Thank you, and see you in the next video.